All right, I'm back with another video, and today I'm talking about cell phone use and how much they really run our lives. If you can't live without it, you have to have it on you every single minute of the day. If you're constantly checking it, checking the email, checking text on your social media, and just how big of an influence cell phones have in our everyday lives, and whether that can be positive or negative. I'm going to play this video about how they've actually banned cell phones at the beginning of the school day, and then the students can take them home once school is over at this high school in Ohio. And they've seen some good results in terms of students paying attention, their grades are going up, all because they're not distracted by a cell phone. And I'm wondering if you could actually apply that to people who are in the workforce and no longer in school. What if you were to take the cell phone away at the office? Then you get it when you get off. So it's just a thought. I'm going to play the video now. Let's go.
Before the bell rings, students at Dunbar High School in Dayton, Ohio, place their phones into these envelopes labeled with their names and grades.
The mornings are just like TSA. Bags, purses, food.
Most Dunbar students have gotten used to the new norm, but some still try to sneak in their cell in a hidden pocket, a bag of chips, a book with a phone-shaped cutout, but this one takes the takeout container. Yep, that's a phone under the chicken. Language arts teacher and football coach James Lacking is part of the morning check-in crew. Do you have to laugh to yourself sometimes?
Oh, we have a good time. We have a good time. It's fun to me now.
The district leading the charge in a national battle in education to keep phones out of schools, and their mission is spreading like wildfire. Lawmakers in at least 10 states are already introducing or passing bills to ban the devices.
A number of Ohio schools have made the decision to eliminate smartphone use during the school day. And I believe clearly that is the right decision.
Spanish teacher Essence Wright says it wasn't enough to ask students to keep their phones off or in their backpacks. What is going on with the phones in the classroom before this ban went into effect?
Constant notifications. Constant notifications.
What does that do to learning?
It interrupts the whole process. It really does.
If now you have to address it, or you need to have an administrative moment in your classroom that could have all been avoided if it didn't even exist.
And now it doesn't. Students don't have their phones from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. when school is dismissed. Hear that? It's the sound of students at lunch talking to each other and playing games.
When we were allowed to have our phones, like at lunch, it used to be like really silent and like nobody would talk. So.
Seniors Jayla, DeAndre, and Rayvon, along with freshman Moses, say they understand the reasons for the cell phone ban. Raise your hand if your parents would say you are addicted to your phones.
That's all she say.
Yeah.
Do you think your mental health is stronger because of this cell phone ban?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they always liked it.
Like I'm always used to it, having it in my pocket, so for it to be taken away, it's like losing a limb.
So you weren't happy in the beginning. Now it's been almost a full school year. Has your perspective changed, and how?
At first, I didn't see like the reason for them taking our phones. But at the time it's passed, I've seen like the benefits from it, or how much of an effect it's had in classrooms and behaviors.
New data out of Norway reinforces what educators call common sense. After examining middle schools with phone bans across the country, researchers found that students saw higher GPAs, fewer mental health consultations, and more than a 40% decrease in bullying incidents. Some parents worry about not being able to reach their kids in an emergency. David Lawrence is the Dayton Public Schools superintendent. When parents who push back and say there's an emergency, I need to reach my child during the day, what do you say?
I say that there have been emergencies throughout the history of school. We've always done a good job of being able to prepare for emergencies and then contact parents in a way that's meaningful and pretty swift based on the emergency.
It looks pretty low tech what you're doing.
It is an envelope. You can buy them at a convenience store. And so you put them in an envelope, store them, and then give them back. It's really easy.
What would be your advice to other school leaders who are watching this and wondering if they should implement this in their school?
I would say that it's cost effective, quick, simple, and easy.
7 hours of phone-free time might be the best thing that's happened to education in a long time.
They are actually being children. That's exactly what we want them to be. These are the last years of their childhood, and we want them to live them.
Giant Uno. Think about the last years of their childhood. That's such an important point. And the superintendent says early testing has already shown increases across reading and math for every single grade, 7th through 12th. He's really encouraged by those results. Next year, he wants to have a researcher from the University of Dayton to begin studying the effect of the cell phone ban over time and on students' mental health as well.
Okay, first of all, that's an incredible story. It shows it can be done.
Totally.
It can be done quickly.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, if a kid gets busted with the phone, what happens?
Listen, this isn't meant to be really draconian and a punitive measure. You get 3 chances. On the 4th try, phone found on you, your parent has to come to school to get that phone back. After the 5th time, it's a 2-day suspension. So they give you a grace period. And for the most part, kids are getting a hold of it. I mean,
it was great to hear from the students in that story as well, because even the kids are acknowledging now, I am addicted to my phone.
Yes.
It does prevent me from learning. It seems like a no-brainer.
I bet you there's some relief. Like the kids are probably mad at first, which you could understand, but then kind of like relieved to have that decision taken away, and now we can just interact.
And what's wonderful about it, at least what I'm dealing with my middle schoolers, is if you don't have it and I don't have it, then it's easier because none of you guys have it. So you can play Uno or do whatever. It's hard when half the parents are buying into it and the other half don't, because then it just feels unfair to your
That's why
kid.
there's the movements with kids our age where we're trying to get a cohort of parents to say, let's not have our kids be the only one.
Yes.
If we can all agree, then it's more, you're not socially ostracized because you don't have a phone.
A 40% reduction in bullying.
Think about it.
40%.
Someone just told me this weekend there was a group text of girls. Somebody got a text. They didn't read it. They didn't like it. And then it distracted her for the whole rest of the school day because she read it in between classes and then it just threw her off kilter. You remove phones, you remove that extra element that we really don't need.
And you don't need it in your backpack either because then you know it's there.
Yes, it's like the phantom limit. It's going off.
Send
it's
this story to
buzzing.
all your friends.
Yes.
All of
Vicky,
you.
that was a good story. Really
Glad you
great.
loved it.
Way to go, Ohio.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dayton rocks.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to...
So there you have it. It's really working out well at that school. The students are excelling. The bullying I'm thinking they're talking about is that cyberbullying, where people are posting certain things on social media, insulting other kids, making them feel bad. And so it's really working in Ohio, and it's 9 other states that mentioned that are trying to get this in effect as well. So that still leaves the other 40. But then just seeing if everybody buys into it, the parents, teachers, and the students, it can actually work and improve the conditions in the school. And I don't know, I'm thinking if you were to take that outside of the school and just put it into your everyday life routine, it could probably be less distracting as well, not just for someone who's in high school, but just whatever you are trying to accomplish or start, finish, continue. Is your cell phone in the way? Does it bother you? You always have to constantly look over at it. It's just all types of distractions, and then you remove that piece, and then you're able to really lock into what you need to do, because a cell phone can cause you to procrastinate, steady scrolling and just not focused on what you should be doing to even better yourself. So this story on a small scale, it exposes much bigger problems that people have with technological distractions, cell phone, computer, TV itself, etc. And so I think just starting with the cell phone, then you also see the children interacting with each other. They're talking to each other. One of the students mentioned that they were just looking down on their cell phones at lunch instead of actually talking to the classmates. And so now you see conversation opening up, and it gives you better soft skills. So you actually know how to talk to people and express yourself versus just sending it through a text. And then once you get around actual human beings, you kind of a little nervous or don't really know how to hold a conversation. And that's a skill that everyone should have. So I think this is working out for the best with the students and the teachers and everybody buying in. As soon as they get to school, it's put in an envelope. when you're ready to leave, you take your phone home and do as you please. But you just see the effects, the more positive effects of them not having it, and then how they can probably incorporate that to what they're doing when they're not in the classroom as well. So how do you all feel about it? Do you think this is something that could really work if more schools in the United States pick it up? If you're a parent, would you do this with your own children? Are your children right now constantly distracted by their cell phone or iPad or tablet? And is there a certain time frame where you just need to put the gadgets away and actually just have family time and talk? What do you all think about it? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Until the next one.